Hello, everyone. Here's another activity I'm using this week. Just wanted to share. It's with our Post-its. So see if you have some Post-its at home. Okay, nice fun way to practice how we use our fingers to turn just one piece of Post-it at a time. So we can use these Post-its. If you don't have Post-its, you can always find a piece of paper and we can create Post-its by learning how to do a trifold. Okay, so I'm just going to do it a little bit quickly. But for our trifold, we fold our paper into threes, just like this. Okay, and we fold it in half. We fold it one more time in half. We will have squares just like this when we open it. Okay, so we might have to practice some cutting. But we will have 12 squares just like this. That can work just as well as our Post-its, maybe just with some tape. Okay, if you want the tape. Okay, otherwise, if you have your Post-its, so two activities that I'm doing. One is called our PostIt Memory. So we need 2 Post-its at a time, just so that we make sure we can't see through our Post-its. And we're using both hands. So one hand is holding, one hand is turning, 1, 2. See if you can use a pencil so that it's a little bit harder to see through it so that we can't see through it so easily. And see if you can draw some different things. So maybe first I just want to make a smiley face. Okay, and whatever we're doing, we need 2 of. So we turn 1 and we turn 2. Nice way to challenge those fingers. One hand is holding. We make our second smiley face. And whatever we're doing, we need 2 Post-its of, right? They should just stick right together. 2. Okay, next. 2 Post-its, turn. Oops. This one, I'm gonna make a shape, and maybe I'll make a diamond. Okay, same thing. Make that diamond. Okay, so the preparation will be a little bit longer if you don't have Post-its because you'll have to cut your paper. And if we're using 2 for each one, this is 2, 4, 6, 8. So we can make 1 more for 1 piece of paper. So for this one, I want to write. So maybe I'll write a color. My favorite color, red. And 3. Remember, we need 2 of everything. And practice some handwriting, drawing. You can make this as hard as you want. You can introduce colors. Maybe using colored pencils will be best. The marker might go through. Okay, and I'm just going to turn it so it's facing you. So here I have just 3 different designs, 3 different memory options. 2 are words, so we can practice some handwriting. 2 are shapes, just to practice drawing those shapes. Okay, and 2 are just pictures, just because I like drawing. Okay, now we're mixing it up. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. Okay, and as we mix it up, we're gonna start to flip them too. So flip, keep mixing and flip, keep mixing and flip. Whoa. Keep mixing and flip. So we're getting our hands working, both of those hands together. All right, you can do it nice and quick. And now we have our Post-its. Okay, so now we're playing our memory game. So we don't know which is where. See if you can look. Okay, here's our red. Okay, so we know that this is red. And now which one else is red? Oops, not this one. So we point them down. Okay, and it stays down. Even if it flops up a little bit, we still can't see what's in there. Try another one. Smiley face and red. Ooh. Okay, so so now for my next turn, here's red, and I remember seeing red again. Do you remember where it was? Where was that word red? Hey. Okay, so we can take our red ones, whoop, match. We put them over to the side. Okay, next, now we have 4 left. Diamond, smiley face. diamond. Okay, so I want to fold this one. Do you remember which one was diamond? Diamond, right? Can fold it up. Okay, 2 diamonds, take them off. And our last one, smiley face, smiley face. Okay, so 1 sheet of paper will give you 12 squares. And it's just, the only reason I like to do double is because if it's just 1, you can kind of see through it. Not so much. Depends how hard you push, but it's still enough that you might be able to get away with seeing through it and therefore not fully getting to practice that short-term memory, that visual memory. Okay? And then these ones, you can always do a little project more of taping them together. And if you want to do just 1 sheet of paper for now, or maybe you're doing certain themes. So for today, maybe we're doing all shapes. Okay, maybe next week we're making all colors. We're practicing writing the colors, right? Just like this. Okay, maybe next week we're going to practice writing the shapes. And if you do 1 piece of paper each time and you tape them, then after a couple of weeks, you might have a really huge PostIt memory game set up. This is a cool one that you can keep at home, and memory is just a fun game that you can use. Okay, you can also use this for sensory strategies. So if you have different sensory breaks that you want to include, maybe you're writing those. So maybe you're making one for jumping. Maybe you're making one for stretching. Maybe you're making one for animal walks. Maybe one is breathing. Maybe one is freestyle. Okay. Maybe one is tree pose or a yoga pose or a stretching pose if yoga is something you want to do, or qigong poses or different breathings, right? And you can always do a memory game like that. So either writing or drawing, right? That's our PostIt memory. Okay, and one more that I want to show you with the Post-its. I'm just going to save these so I can use them later. Okay, one more with the Post-its is same thing. I like Post-its because you can practice using one hand at a time. All right, so with our Post-its, I want to see if we can make a face. So it's a nice way to just talk about the different parts of the face, right? And you can actually use it to build anything. But for a face, for example, not only do I want to draw the parts of the face, but I want to also include some handwriting. Okay, so maybe I'll do some eyelashes because there's eyelashes on eyes, right? So not only do I want to do the drawing, but I want to include some handwriting. So I'm going to also write my word eyes. You could do this without the handwriting. Okay, eyes. Okay, what else do we need in the face? Okay, so we can also use our Post-it to, keep building. Okay, I'm not the best artist. Nose, right? And I just like to use the Post-its, especially because it's a good way to use both of those hands. Right? And we don't even realize it, but we need just one Post-it at a time. So we're practicing how we're manipulating it with our fingers to take just one piece at a time. One hand has to hold when we pull. So it's just a fun way to kind of engage both of those hands together. And remember, we can always add, oops, sorry, I'm upside down here. We can always add different steps. All right, and bear with me. Let me show you just one more thing. So, oops. Ears, I think our ear looks like this actually. How do we do it upside down like this, right? Ears, okay. So say we do our eyes, you can do as much as the eyebrows, you can do one for hair. Okay, so I'm just gonna do just one more just to show you. Just a second thing that we can do, right? So here we're gonna make our mouth. That's a W. The problem with writing upside down. Okay, but we can actually change it to an M. Okay, mouth. Okay, so we made our face. We got to make a different face. We can always practice switching it up. How might it look if we switch it up? How silly can we get? So what would a person look like this, right? And on a separate sheet of paper, we can see if we can design something fun and different and crazy and enjoy making something that looks a little different than the norm, some abstract drawing, have a little fun with it, okay? And then see if we can put that on a piece of paper. So maybe we're practicing some drawing as well, all right? So now we have our face, okay? And we drew an eye here plus an ear. Okay, and we still have our nose in the middle. Then we have an eyeball here too. And we have our mouth here. And we have our ear down here. Okay, so just making some abstract drawing, some abstract art, sorry, right? And it just is a kind of a fun way to practice copying our designs from one to the other. You can do multiple pictures. You can draw something on our circle first and then see if you can copy it onto the Post-its. So maybe on another piece, or the back of this paper rather. Maybe here I'm gonna say, okay, here's a face. Here's what I wanna do. I wanna do an eyeball here for the nose. I wanna do an eyeball here for the ear. Okay, with my ear over here. And you can get as far as right ear and left ear. Another ear down here. Okay, and my nose is here. Okay, so now I want you to create this design. You make this pattern. Oops, done. This way you can see my art. So what are we missing? Oh, we're missing a mouth. All right, so just a fun way to incorporate some drawing using the Post-its and copying these patterns. So now you make this design. How can you make this design? So let's see, we have our mouth over here. Okay, we have an ear up here, right? But if we want to practice our sides as well, looks like it's our left ear from my point of view. For you, it might be the opposite. Then we have an eye in the middle. So just really kind of how we put things together, and especially if it's a little bit abstract, and it's kind of just a fun way to do it. So sorry, our eye is actually down here for our nose. And then we have another eye. Wait a second, our eye is here for our nose. Our other eye is here for our ear. And what do we have? We have our two eyes here. We have a mouth and ears for an eye. Then our eyes for the nose. See, this is confusing. It's hard. Okay, we have a nose over here, whew, with an eyeball as our ears. So we have our eyes, our nose, our ears, and an ear down here for our mouth. Whew, so this becomes our face. Oh, man. Okay, so just a funny way to kind of mix it up and have some fun following some patterns, just doing some cool, weird, intricate, abstract kind of art and designs, and it's just funny, and having fun and being silly is such a great way to connect. And then we can even talk about, well, what would it look like if our eye was here by our nose? What if we used our nose to see? So how can we use our nose to see? What might we see? What about if our mouth was here for our eye and we were eating from our eye? Okay, we can talk about what each thing does, right? And maybe we have to put it back together. Okay, so get it back together to how it's supposed to be, right? So it kind of becomes like a little puzzle. It's a little Post-it puzzle that we can create and just practice following some directions, following some different rules of different things to make. And again, we can always practice coloring these in, coloring inside of the lines, drawing. We can really make it even more intricate with eyebrows, and we have our cheeks, right? And maybe our mouth and our tongue are two separate things. If you want to make it even more challenging, add body parts. Remember, we could talk about left and right side and get a little side involvement in there. So just a fun activity. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Post-its. So if you're using that piece of paper, it'll give you 12. Okay, and if you're making different body parts, different things, you can always use this as a Post-it visual memory, a Post-it memory game too. Okay, so Post-its are just a fun way to, without even realizing, practice manipulating to get one paper at a time. Okay, using one hand to hold while the other one pulls. Remember, if you don't have Post-its, you can always fold a paper and make some Post-its at home. Just might take a little extra time for preparation as well as some cutting to create your Post-its. All right, so just sharing some fun activities that I'm trying to use and that I think are fun. So hope this is something helpful. See if you can try these challenges, make these activities at home. All right, or what else can you do with it? All right, hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.